Hey there peeps, I'm back again for another interesting video. This time, we're going to take a closer look at Sovryn. So, I do have a question for you. Do you honestly think that Sovryn is the biggest DeFi platform for Bitcoin? If you really want to find out about it, I suggest that you should be watching this video until the end. DeFi, or simply what we call as decentralized finance, has been on a huge roll these days, peeps. It became relevant during the mid of last year, where it had a great momentum until now. It's one of the reasons why Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have been mostly in an uptrend. But the question is, do you honestly think that Sovryn is going to become the biggest DeFi platform of Bitcoin? But before that, let's take a look first at the other blockchains that were mostly used for various DeFi products and services. Of course, Ethereum is the most popular one and the number one altcoin in CoinMarketCap next to Bitcoin. This is where most of the DeFi projects are operating nowadays, in which the tokens can be swapped by any means necessary on Uniswap. However, the main problem that we are experiencing on Ethereum nowadays are its scalability and uncontrollable gas fees. Just imagine about spending more than $10 for just transferring an ERC20 token alone. It's so painful for our wallets, you know. Binance Smart Chain, for me, I think it's the perfect alternative for DeFi projects because of its cheap transaction cost, no matter if you transfer a token or using PancakeSwap or even adding or removing liquidity. I did have a video about Ethereum versus Binance Smart Chain though. You may want to watch it after this one. Other blockchains such as Polkadot and Tron are fine as well, but they're not yet reaching the levels of usage like Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain does. But what about Bitcoin? As you can see, it's the mother of all cryptocurrencies created by Satoshi Nakamoto just 2008, and it used the proof of work concept like Ethereum is right now. And there will be only 21 million supply left and cannot be reissued in any way until they claim that all BTCs will be successfully mined by 2140, which of course I no longer exist because of the series of halvings. And the good thing about Bitcoin is that because it's operating under a decentralized distributed data ledger, it's unhackable with full transparency and cannot be tampered. Recently, Bitcoin has been adopted by various financial institutions worldwide such as JP Morgan and Chase Bank, PayPal, Tesla, MasterCard, MicroStrategy, and so on. Although Bitcoin is trading sideways, we remain bullish on that in the long run due to the continued adoption of financial institutions in this one-of-a-kind cryptocurrency. But the real question right now is that if it's possible for Bitcoin to enter DeFi. As the old saying goes, nothing is impossible because Sovryn is finally here. You wanna know the reason why? It's simply because Sovryn's token SOV, as its ticker symbol, has an intrinsic value being a token in the DeFi space. So what does this mean anyways? It simply means that SOV itself is not just like any other altcoins out there in the market, as it may become a special one for DeFi enthusiasts and investors like me. The cool thing about SOV is that for providing decentralized governance, stakers like us could earn fees from the Sovryn protocol, which I find this feature really cool and amazing. If you are into crypto staking, you might want to check this out, peeps. And not only that, speaking of the SOV stakers, we get the right to vote about the evolution of the first decentralized system, like how it's done on the platform. Because of these ones being mentioned, peeps, I think we should not miss out in grabbing some SOV tokens before it gets listed on public exchanges. For me, this is a project that is going to get some huge potential not just in the short term, but in the long run. Yeah, seriously. And how could we see the potential of Bitcoin in the DeFi space with Sovryn? I like the fact that Sovryn is an open source platform. And when it comes to this feature alone, it is a state-of-the-art financial solution that is incorruptible, open, and transparent, where it is completely built by the Bitcoin community to provide the entire world. And of course, coming from our respective wallets directly, we can initiate crypto trading and earning some yield with our bitcoins, and also to lend and borrow on a decentralized platform of Sovryn. It also means that every transaction was processed by the Bitcoin miners, which also protects our privacy at the same time, thus calling them pseudonymous. And as the old saying goes, not your keys, not your coins. Which means that Sovryn doesn't need for us to use centralized services or giving up our keys to the kingdom. You know, the private keys. It means to say that Sovryn is a permissionless smart contract-based system for Bitcoin lending, borrowing, and margin trading, in which it's non-custodial, that no third party could access our Bitcoins, and was built for true financial freedom. I have to be honest with you, peeps, this is something that I have never seen before in the DeFi industry, as this is the first of its kind where Bitcoin was involved in the DeFi space. I think Sovryn does have a great potential in the DeFi space and could really make such a great difference, you know. And of course, there's more that I would like to share. When it comes to their privacy, we don't need to have knowledge in cryptography. So even if you are a newbie or beginner in the DeFi space, it would be easy for you to access Sovryn protocol. On top of that, they have trustless verification, which is one of the advantages of this platform, and it acknowledges our privacy between parties every time we transact. I think this is really superb for me in terms of privacy, and it's a good thing, by the way. Another reason why I've liked Sovryn is that their smart contract is EVM compatible. So what does that mean anyways? It means that stable coins are fully backed by Bitcoin that could be made as collateral, and of course, through its side chains, scalability is achieved and we don't need to sell Bitcoin for payments within the Sovryn platform. All I could say is that with its EVM compatible smart contract, I think that could be really great for DeFi enthusiasts like me. And of course, the payments can be made every day as the Ethereum development community can be integrated. The layer 2 of Bitcoin is provided by a bridge, and the transactions can be enabled so that Bitcoin's proof of work could secure it. And finally, Sovryn's trading tools are permissionless. This is where Sovryn gives you the opportunity to trade your assets in a safe and secured way, in which they cannot be compromised. And not only that, in order to build your wealth, we can leverage our own holdings. This is where Sovryn is at its best by just simply lending crypto on their platform. For me, I honestly think that this is something that DeFi enthusiasts should consider taking a look, because this is no ordinary project. It's really something, and it's good for the long run. And if you could take a look at these tweets coming from the Twitter influencers, starting off with the Crypto Dog, and I quote, "If you're angry about the not so free markets, check out Sovryn BTC. It's a BTC DEX with leverage and lending, holding your own keys and no sign up. It's DeFi with Bitcoin's ethos. If they won't give us a free market, we'll just build one." And coming from Eric Voorhees, and I quote, "DeFi on Bitcoin gets a boost as Sovryn launches on RSK sidechain." So it's coming from a CoinDesk article, and coming from the Wolf of All Streets, and I quote, "Bitcoin is the currency for an incorruptible free market. Sovryn BTC is that market. That is why I invested. I was blown away by my podcast conversation with Eden Yago and went deep down the rabbit hole. Very excited to be along for this ride." So all I can say is that this is really promising, and I think other ones would be following suit. And also, you can see the solid project supports and backers that are displayed here on the screen. I could see that Sovryn is going to be very impressive in the long run due to these supporters and backers here. I had no doubts that Sovryn is going to be heading on the right track and could be bigger in more months and years to come. Now, about my final thoughts regarding Sovryn, I honestly believe that the team behind this project are doing a marvelous job in making this project a reality for Bitcoin to enter in the DeFi space. They are doing whatever it takes to bring out the best in Sovryn as the hub for DeFi investors and enthusiasts to experience what Bitcoin is capable of in this growing space. They're heading towards the right direction and could become a complete game changer in the DeFi space, especially involving Bitcoin. Sovryn is something that you cannot afford to miss because it has a great potential in the long run. At least I have shared with you about Sovryn. I hope you've learned something from me in this video. Thank you all for watching, by the way. And I would like to invite you all to smash the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for you to stay notified about my latest videos regarding cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, and DeFi. Plus, you can follow my social media channels right here or in my YouTube description. Okay guys, so from my freaking home studio, this is Jeff aka Nomad Fury, and see you all on my next video.